go from there.
We
But
had
yeah,
16
we're talking about
yesterday.
yeah. So what things are going to go today for you guys? Want to do a 2-minute quick background thing on both of us to show you why we're qualified to train you. 73 minutes of pure content. 5 minutes how we can help you, and then if you have any questions afterwards at the very, very end, we'd be happy to answer them for you. So, you know David, but for anybody else doesn't know David at all, he's a president and creative director of Spark Communications. He's a sales and marketing expert and business coach over the last 40 years, a professional speaker. David speaks to audiences of entrepreneurs, CEOs, and professionals and a wide range of services. You know, what David's an expert at is really breaking down and deconstructing your marketing plan. And then he has proprietary software to create a brand new one and show you where you're leaving money on the table. He's an absolute expert in that.
Thanks, Alan. So let me introduce you to Alan. For 25 years, he's been in the digital marketing space, so designing websites and also working in the LinkedIn world. So he spent the last 12 years as a LinkedIn trainer and last 9 years generating leads from LinkedIn. And so he now passes that information on to his clients and the people he works with, both online and offline. And so we're hoping to be able to leverage that knowledge and build a database for you and be able to help you leverage your leads so that we can turn them into paying customers.
There you go, David.
Right. So I've developed a model that looks at a business from basically 5 profit centers or 5 areas where the most potential for profit comes from. The first level is the foundations of the business. So that is, do you have the right product, the right target market, the right approach to the market, the right messaging to the market, and so on. The second area is where are the leads coming from? So where do you generate leads from? And the third part is once you've got those leads, how do you go through a process converting them to paying customers? And then, of course, from the conversion rate, being able to turn them into transactions. And that's actually generating money from the contacts that you build into your lead list. And the last part is how do you create more profit from your lead generation and the clients that you have either already or the new clients you bring on board. So the first area, foundations, we look at several things. One, first of all, is what does it look like to the market from a trust perspective, an expertise perspective, and an education perspective with your company speaking to your target market. And the second area is what policies and procedures and processes do you have in place that helps it make it easy for customers to do business with you. The third area is what we call a market dominating position. So how do you outsell and outmarket your competition? And part of that is the messaging you deliver to the market that makes you the only choice for the customer. And then the last part is what we call strategy, and that is looking at the business from a strategic perspective as opposed to the way most businesses look at things tactically. So a market dominating position is simply this. First of all, do you have the right product, the right service for the right target market? And do you have the right marketing and sales strategy? So does your brand talk to the promise that you delivered to the customers? Do they recognize the brand? Is the brand delivering what the company says it's delivering? Second of all is your messaging. So is your messaging consistent? Is it providing the right information to customers? Is it talking benefits to the customer versus features of the company? What's your offer? Is the offer something that's appealing to the customer? Is it easy to do business? Does it take away the customer's pain? What media do you use? Because you need to communicate through the channels where your customers are. And then what is your timing? Are you getting in the face of your customers at the time when they're ready to buy? There we go. You want to hit the next button
We got
there?
some feedback on somebody's phone or something.
Oh, yeah,
Some
could
beeping.
be. Yeah. Let's hit the next one. So lead generation mistakes that most businesses make are these. First of all, we need to be more strategic than tactical. And typically with most businesses, they look at the tactics first. And so what that simply means is that the tactics are doing things like placing ads, sending out mailers, doing networking, attending trade shows, and so on. But the problem with looking at the tactics is, first of all, we need to figure out how they fit into the strategy. So the strategy needs to be the first focus. So the strategic side is focused more on what you say and how you say it, as opposed to the marketing channel that you say it through. So again, each message needs to be tailored to the market, and it also needs to be adapted to the channels, but there has to be an underlying message that's consistent. So poor lead results, most business owners and most people managing their marketing look at and they blame the medium. Oh, we put a Facebook ad out, it's not working. We did something on LinkedIn, it's not working. But part of that is because the strategy was not right. And typically a lot of businesses also use platitudes. If you go to any website and you read it, you'll see things like, we have the lowest prices, the best service, we're family owned and operated, we have convenient hours, we have the best value, and we've been in business since 1431, blah, 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 blah.
You're old, David.
Yeah, exactly. So to generate leads too, we need to look at multiple channels of lead generation. LinkedIn is definitely the best channel to go through to be able to do business to business. But there are other options as well. So that might be, what's your referral system? How are you gaining referrals from existing clients and suppliers and so on? Do you have joint ventures and alliances in place? If you do, are they bringing in leads for you? Are you doing publicity and promotion for your business? If that's the case, then you're getting third-party endorsements, which also promotes you as the company to go to. Are you doing direct marketing? So that could be either telephone calls or that could be through direct mail. Are you doing advertising? If so, what does your message say in advertising? Is it benefit oriented? Is it addressing the customer's issues and challenges? Are you doing digital marketing? And if you are, where are you focusing your effort and what channels are you using? And there's other methods of generating leads as well. So here's what it looks like in the digital space, and you're probably all familiar with this, but there's everything from e-commerce to networking, to reputation management, to videos, websites, so on and so forth, not to mention on top of that, all the various social media channels. So which ones are you using and what message are you delivering through those? And are those the channels where your customer goes to?
Right.
So are we generating more conversions? So once you have the leads, are those leads actually being converted into potential customers? So we can do that through various ways of being able to make it happen. One is a drip campaign. So a drip campaign is, we'll talk about that a little bit more, and I'll show you an example, but a drip campaign is just simply sending information out to customers on a regular basis so that when they're ready to buy, they've got a good idea of who you are, what you stand for, and you've provided them for some helpful information. So are we doing follow-ups? And if we are, what's our closing ratios? Are we looking at our closing rates? And can we improve those? Do we have scripts in place so that if we're not the person making the calls and there's other people on our team, is everybody singing from the same song sheet, basically? So in other words, do we have scripts that everybody works from? And what's our compelling offer? If you're not getting conversions, there's something wrong with the offer, and there's something wrong with the messaging.
Oh,
so
that's pretty good. That's right.
Transactions. Do we have a sales team? And if we have a sales team, what is the process the sales team goes through once a lead comes in the door? What's the sales close ratios with each of the team members? Are some doing well, some not doing well? Why is that happening? Are we setting appointments? If we are, how are we arranging to set appointments? Are they automated, or do we have to make follow-up phone calls and emails and multiple contacts with the customer to set those appointments? Do we have additional products and services so if the customer comes to you and you've got your premium product or service, they go, oh, well, we can't afford that. Do we have some options for them? Do we have other things we can add to what we offer as well? Can we increase the frequency of purchase? So we all know that it's easier to sell to an existing customer than to educate a new customer and have them buy. Do we have downsell capability? So if we have a high priced item, do we also have some alternatives for people who are smaller companies or have less purchasing power? And do we have a way of reactivating former clients? And then the last part is more profits. So can we increase our price? Fear, especially during COVID time, is that, oh, if we increase our price, our customers are going to go away. Well, the fact is, in most cases, customers aren't going to go away, and you'll make more profits sometimes with less customers because you'll get your premium customers and the customers that really want to buy. Can we increase the longevity of buying? So rather than the one-time purchase, will they purchase over a year or over multiple years? So we can oftentimes set it up so that they're on repeat business. Do we have the ability to upsell and cross-sell? So upselling is taking people from a low-priced item or service to a higher price. And cross-sell is if you've got one product, can you sell another product to go with it? Can we bundle? So do we have multiple products that we can put together in a value package, a package that gives the customer a lot more value without increasing our cost to deliver that product to the service? Or can we look at cutting costs? So if you're looking at the manufacturing world, is there ways to be able to reduce the cost of manufacturing? Key to success for any business, it doesn't matter what business it is first of all, having a market dominating position. Second of all, using what we call the conversion formula. I'll talk about that shortly. Third one is, do we have a compelling offer? And it has to be an informational offer. And do we have a strategic marketing campaign? So I tell all of my customers and people, audiences I speak to, marketing is not an event, it's a process. So that means you don't do marketing once and get a whole bunch of customers, at least not in most markets. So in our program, our coaching program, along with our software program, we have 8 strategies that work in the 5 profit areas I've just talked about. One is making your advertising work better. Second is to build joint ventures and partnerships and alliances. Third is to upsell and cross-sell. Fourth is to expand your products and services and increase customer revenues. Fifth is how to downsell your way to wealth. So next one is how to create revenue producing drip campaign. And then how to stop discounting, because a lot of times what companies don't realize is they discount and they wind up losing their profitability. And last of all, how do we cut unnecessary expenses, particularly during this time of COVID? So here's the conversion formula. And what I mean by conversion formula, it applies to your messaging and how you communicate with customers. So the first part of the conversion formula is to interrupt your audience and get inside their head, figure out what they're thinking, and most of all, address their problems. So if you look at effective headlines that catch your attention, most of the time what they're doing is they're talking about an issue or problem or challenge that you as the customer has. Then we want to engage our customers, and the way we do that is tell them that we have something that's going to help them. We have something that's going to benefit and solve their problem for them. Next one, in this particular day and age, particularly with the internet and the amount of traffic on the internet, if we can provide education to our customers, then they're probably going to choose us over our competition because we've already taught them what they need to know about our business. And our offer, is it compelling and is it irresistible to the point where the customer says, there would be nobody else I do business with but you? So here's a good example of that conversion formula. Best time ever to get braces. What's most people's challenges around getting braces? They want people to look at the metal in the mouth. They want people to look at, their smile. Well, during COVID times, probably the best time because nobody sees them. They're wearing a mask. So a great commercial for a dental organization. So the offer. So we talked about market dominating position and the conversion equation. How do we create a compelling offer? A lot of businesses use what we call an incentive offer. So an incentive offer is just simply something like buy one, get one free, or a percentage discount, or a gift with purchase. Maybe a free service like an estimate or an assessment. But the problem with that and the disadvantage with doing that is you're compromising your pricing. And so you don't have price integrity from one customer to another. You're also winding up reducing your profitability. And it's easy for businesses to comparison shop because all they do is ask you what your price is, and then they go to the competitor and ask them what they can do with that price. And it only appeals to the now buyers. So when I say now buyers, we say that there's between 1 to 3% of buyers who are ready to buy now. And statistics show that there's about 7% that are ready to buy in the next 30 days. Another 30% are ready to buy in the next 6 months. And then 30% in 2 years from now. And 30% probably will never buy because they're not your customer. They're not interested in what you have to offer. So what typically happens, and this is very common in the world of professionals, doctors, and a lot of the professional services, financial planners, another good example, is they all say the same thing on their website. And their offer is call us, book an appointment, or send us your information so we can contact you. That's very typical. Same thing with chiropractors. Most chiropractic websites, if you look at a bunch of them, that says, here's our phone number, call us, book an appointment, so on and so forth. So if we provide what's known as an informational offer, then we're helping educate the customers to buy from us without selling. So what that simply could mean is something like a mortgage company would provide a report that says, here's the 8 mistakes that most people make when they're getting a mortgage. Or a sunroom company has an idea guide. So it provides ideas for customers so they can decide what kind of a sunroom they want and how to generate the best sunroom or create the best sunroom. Financial planners providing a survey so that people can determine what they're looking for and how their finances can be better utilized. Home remodeling company, a consumer report. And what that does is it educates the consumer on what they should be looking for when they're going to hire a home renovation company. And if any of you have ever done a renovation, you know what a nightmare that can be when you're hiring a contractor. So wouldn't it be a good idea to figure out what you need to know in advance and ask your suppliers to provide you with that particular information? So the advantage with this particular approach is that it builds trust because you're not selling them anything. You're providing them with helpful information. It establishes a relationship first before you enter into the sales cycle. It provides evidence of the claims that you offer through your business. And it appeals to that future group of buyers, somewhere between 97 and 99% of the potential buyers of the future. Most customers, and we've all been there, if you've ever gone to try and buy a house or a car, we have that threshold of resistance that says, oh, this might be too much money. Oh, this might not work for me. Oh, that might not be the right model, and so on. So we have a threshold of resistance that comes from the buy now syndrome. And so we need to move customers from the low part where they're trying to decide who to buy from and why they should buy to who they should buy from. And that's the informational process of providing them information to help them decide. So let's take a look at the chiropractor. If we look at the chiropractor, typically it's call us, book an appointment, free exam, so on and so forth. The problem with that is, again, the threshold of resistance. So if the chiropractor provides an informational offer, something like, free back pain report, and here's how to help your back pain and be able to cure back pain easier. It's providing information. So that lowers the threshold, the risk factor. So I'm going to show you 2 of the 8 strategies about in the coaching program that I work with and working with clients to develop strategies. First one is how to make your advertising work. The second one is to look at a drip campaign concept. So here's a case study of a doctor, Dr. John Smith, who's a psychologist, and he works with parents and children. And so this is the original website. Not bad. He talks about parenting advice and resources and so on. He lists all the different areas he focuses on. And if you look on the right side, he says, call for a free consultation and book a session. Problem with that is customers, and many times his patients or potential patients, don't know exactly what they're looking for to solve their problem. So this was the original script. He introduces himself, he says greetings to parents and so on. And here's what he offers eventually. Okay, so welcome the parents, and he says, see this information. It says we have hundreds of pages of articles, and he talks about his 9 areas of expertise. So you can imagine if a client or a patient is having one particular problem with their child, do they want to read hundreds of articles to figure out how to solve it? No. Do they want to book a free consultation when they don't even know if this guy can solve their problems or not? No. So we modified the approach to his market, and here's what we did. First of all, we created a landing page. So a landing page takes people to one specific issue, challenge, or problem and provides one solution. So you can have multiple landing pages depending on what products and services you offer. So the first part says, can you pop back there, Alan? Sorry. The first part says, are you sick and tired of yelling, screaming, belligerent attitude of your child? Now you can discover the secrets of controlling your child instantly and restoring peace and quiet in your home. Enter your information here and we'll send you a free 60-second solution to your problem that you can use right away. So if you go back to the conversion formula, it talks about hit their pain point, what's their problem. It addresses there may be a solution. It provides information so that they can figure out for themselves. We also edited his script so that it makes it easy, painless, and non-committal from the patient's perspective. So it says at the bottom, enter your first name and email in the box to the right, and we'll send you a series of 60-second techniques that will work immediately with your restoring peace and quiet in your home. So this was the original website. And like I say, not bad. It was generating some leads. They were getting about 300 leads a month. It was converting about 1% of those leads, or 10% of those leads, I should say, to asking for a consultation. So he'd asked for a free consultation. And out of that, they'd get 3 patients a month. So that's a 1% conversion rate. So if we go back to the formula that I was talking about earlier, is interrupt them, engage them, educate them, and then make a compelling offer. So the compelling offer was simply offering them a easy to use 60-second solution to their problem. So we originally had an average of 300 leads per month. When we changed the website and created a new offer, it wound up increasing to 20%, or 60 people requested the new offer. 6 became new patients. The average patient or customer was paying $800 for consultation. So that means that there was $2,400 in new income to that particular practice. That's $28,000 annually. So if you think about your own business, what would $28,000 do in your business? Would that be a worthwhile way to increase your revenue? Is to look at your advertising and how you market your message to the market. So the other way to keep those customers in the loop until they're ready to buy, because if you go back and look at the percentages, only 1 to 3% are willing to buy right now, is to create what we call a drip campaign. And it's based on a predetermined schedule and predetermined content, and it goes over a period of time just to educate the customers. It's not a sales pitch. So if we look back to the child psychologist with the original website, we were getting 300 leads. Those were converting through the website to an opt-in for an offer. And so that increased when we changed the website, and also created a campaign to get people to come back to the website. And so then we created a drip campaign, and we took those 54 prospects. So remember, there were 6 that converted, put them back in through a drip campaign. That put 54 prospects into the drip campaign, and we nurtured that campaign over a period of time, which wound up producing 2 more customers per month. And so from that meant 72 new clients over a 12-month period, and 156 clients that would have never come to that practice if they hadn't been invited through the drip campaign. So you can see the numbers here. I won't read them to you, but you can see you take 54, put them in the pipeline, and then 2 buys, so that leaves 52. You put them back in the pipeline. So you've now got, a compound interest happening with the invites and the lead generation. By the end of 12 months, they got 30 patients per month in that practice as a result of the drip campaign. So the question to ask yourselves in your own businesses is that something you could do in your business? And if so, is that amount of new customer base and volume something you can do effectively? And it was for the doctor. So like I say, we have a software program that does an analysis. It's got 497 million algorithms behind it. And so it's a quantitative and qualitative analysis of the marketing that you're currently doing and what the potential is, the upside is for changing that marketing and being able to find the profit areas in your business. And this doesn't have to be rocket science, actually. Can you back that up? Thanks, Alan.
Yeah, no problem.
So
Sorry.
if you look at the 5 different areas we talked about, so there's the foundations, the more leads, and the more conversions and so on, you can see that a incremental increase of 1% to 2% can drastically increase the results that you would get from various marketing efforts if they're fine-tuned and done in a orderly, organized fashion. So here's the other areas that we focus on as well within that 5 different profit centers. There's more transactions, more profits. And we've currently added a new section to the software as well that analyzes a sales team. So if you have a group of people that work with you in sales, then it can help to look at where the profit potential is in the sales area. And we've also added a new component to the software as well that analyzes just the digital space and what different software or what different channels you're using in the digital space and what the profitability factor is in changing how those are approached and selecting the right channels. So if you look at the overall process, what you'll see is, here's an example with Dr. John Smith going through the process of changing his marketing and so on. We've managed to increase the profitability. And Alan, you can hit the button there. So you can see there was only 4 areas that we addressed within his business to increase the profitability. And that took him from basically what current revenues was, which, Alan, if you can hit the button again, thanks. It was $250,000 in revenue. So by focusing on those 4 areas of profitability and changing how he did his marketing, it increased the revenues to over $400,000. So very easy to look at those areas. And like I say, find a 1% to 2% increase. And in some businesses, it can be anywhere between 10 and 50%. And you could quite easily double your revenue by focusing your efforts in the right places. So the 5 profit areas were, first of all, looking at the foundations, which is systems and processes, your strategy, and how you attract customers to your business, generating more leads through lead generation techniques, creating more conversions, which turn into more customers, more transactions, which result in more profits. So take it away, Alan.
Awesome. Wow,
Let's
a lot
talk
of
about.
information. Yeah, sorry about that, David. We got to figure out that thing on Zoom for you clicking on the slides here. We'll get that fixed up. Anyways, I want to thank you for listening to David. I got tons of information for you. Please make sure that if you want some great information about our program, make sure you have a pad of paper and a pen beside you. Take lots of notes. I'll talk about LinkedIn for lead generation and marketing. I'm going to show you some new features on LinkedIn that most people don't know about, and give you a actual action plan on what to do and how to do it. So, why LinkedIn? It was launched in 2003 by Reid Hoffman and Alan Blue, and CEO Jeff Weiner just stepped down as CEO. Someone else replaced him. Acquired by Microsoft for $26 billion in 2016. Imagine starting a business and 13 years later, some company buys you out for $26 billion. You never have to work again. Your family never has to work again. Your family and friends never have to work again, right? It's just incredible, right? Who would want to do that, build up a company like that? As of November 2020, there are about 820 million users on LinkedIn worldwide. 280 million people are active on LinkedIn monthly. 160 million users are in North America. 40% of people on LinkedIn use LinkedIn daily. US, Canada, India, Brazil, and UK have the highest numbers of users. And a really important thing to know is that 44% of LinkedIn users earn more than $75,000 per year, as opposed to people on Facebook, which the average Facebook person only earning $30,000 per year. So what does that mean? It means people on LinkedIn not only have the money, but also have the whereabouts to where you're talking to usually the owner of the company a lot of times, as opposed to someone has to go through so many channels up the food chain to get you to the person who can actually make the decision. There are over 280 million businesses that use LinkedIn daily. 50% of the people on LinkedIn, like I said, have decision-making authority, which is very, very important, because we've all, had other ways of contacting people by email marketing or Google AdWords, and you're just not reaching the right target audience who can make the decision for you. LinkedIn posts reach an estimated 9 billion people each month, with most of the content coming from less than 100 million people. So that means, probably close to 10% of the people on LinkedIn are producing almost all the content. And that's what I tell my clients when they are, working with me on LinkedIn. Content marketing on LinkedIn is super, super important on a regular basis. So if you're not posting content weekly on LinkedIn, you're missing on a big piece of lead generation or marketing on LinkedIn to bring people back to your content. I just ordered a brand new phone. I'm getting it next month. I'm very excited because it'll have a great new camera. I'm going to start doing the video marketing on LinkedIn that I've been wanting to do for a while. Just a matter of not having the right mobile phone to create crisp, clean videos. Why is it so important on LinkedIn? What can you do with it? So you can tap into a powerful job board on LinkedIn. You can build trust and your brand and build a huge network. I've seen people who have millions of people following them on LinkedIn. You can help rank your name on Google. Google indexes LinkedIn because Google wants, what does Google want? They want content. So LinkedIn has brand new content every single day in a huge amount. Google just gobbles it up. So, also LinkedIn, I've talked to many people who like doing stuff on LinkedIn, but some people just want to have a list of contacts on LinkedIn and they never contact them. They never message them at all, but they want to have a Rolodex of contacts on LinkedIn, which gives you reach globally. I think not contacting people on a regular basis on LinkedIn is a mistake. It's like having this giant, email marketing campaign and this giant email list and never sending them any emails at all. Also on LinkedIn, if you need a service or someone to do something for you, you can really go into LinkedIn and research that company and their employees to work with them. Also, it can help you tap into industry news. And lastly, it provides an opportunity to network. And especially my favorite is using LinkedIn for marketing and lead generation. So what does it come down to? And I'm just going to skip to the internet for a second here. it comes down to what do you have for your profile, and is your profile complete? One of the great things about LinkedIn is it gives you an actual meter on the very bottom. Obviously, my profile is 100% done, but for those of you who don't have a 100% complete profile on LinkedIn, right below this top section here, it gives you an actual section to know how complete your profile is. And people don't know about certain features. Like, for instance, do you know about this one here?
Hi, I'm Alan Fine from LinkedIn Leads, and I can get you a never-ending stream of leads from LinkedIn.
So that little button beside my name came in about maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and it's supposed to be for people how to pronounce your name. But they give you 10 seconds, and I thought it'd be a great idea to put a little marketing message. That button is only available to configure and put on your profile through the mobile app version, not the desktop version. Things I see people make mistakes on LinkedIn is not having a great photo where they're smiling, not having a great banner on LinkedIn. You can add profile sections on LinkedIn over here to make sure you have all the different things like the feature section. A lot of people don't have that at all. They don't have their work experience properly done, or their skills, accomplishments, or additional information. And then, they have their LinkedIn profile done like a resume, so they're not configuring the areas of LinkedIn, because when someone gets a message from you on LinkedIn or wants to go to your profile to research you on whether they should hire you or not, this section is probably the most important piece of real estate you have, and it should not be, I am the owner of my company. It should be, what can I do for you? And why should you hire me? That's what it should be. So benefits, not features. So those are very, very important. And then you have the about section over here. I'm gonna go through all this whole thing in detail afterwards. About section, once again, benefits, not features. The 4 things people wanna know when they come to your LinkedIn profile is, who are you? What do you do? What can you do for me? And why should I use your services as opposed to, the 10,000 other people on LinkedIn who do exactly like what you do also. So here's the feature section. You can put videos in here. You can put graphics in here. You can put PDFs in here. If you're going to use video on the feature section, you have to create a post first. So you can see what do you want to put on here, a post, article, or media. With media, you can only upload JPEGs, PDFs, GIFs, and that's it. Your dashboard, right? It tells you who's viewed your profile. This is super important to look at. It's only really shows up properly if you have a paid for premium membership on LinkedIn. You can see I get great engagement on my profile on a regular basis on LinkedIn. And you can, really maximize this by going to people. If you have the premium membership, if you have a free membership, you see maybe 6 boxes over here. Premium goes never ending. It just keeps on repopulating itself. So on here on a regular basis, I'll go in here and I'll message people saying something like, hi, I saw you on my profile. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Let's see if we can, get to know each other better. And that's so important because, on my LinkedIn lead generation program I do for clients, right, my Done For You program, I quickly realized many years ago that if you don't create the relationship with somebody on LinkedIn, then usually you're going to burn the lead. And we've all had people who have send us, excuse me, a connection message that has a sales message in the actual connection message, or the second that you click on the accept button, they're sending you some stupid message like, hey, if you ever need my services, don't hesitate to contact me. And people, have told me when they see that, what do they think? Well, most people think, yeah, I know that already, right? But there's no relationship there. So it's so important that you build a relationship on LinkedIn with somebody before you do your quote unquote ask. Pardon me. You only get one chance to make the first impression. So it's so important that you have a great cover banner. Pardon me. LinkedIn has the ability of putting great cover banners on there. And unfortunately, a lot of people have no cover banner at all. Here's some examples of great cover banners I've seen. Obviously mine, Join the Movement. This lady has a nice cover banner where she's taken slices of her and kind of cartoonized them. Ashley Jones has a nice one. This guy has a nice one. So, I mean, there's lots of potential to build great cover banners. I make great cover banners for my clients. I help them with that. My Done For You program as also a separate kind of thing. But if you don't have a cover banner, are people really going to think you're that professional? And you only have a few seconds to have them decide if they want to accept your connection request or have a meeting with you. So super, super important. Also, your profile picture, very, very important. We've all seen terrible, terrible profile pictures. People who have obviously cut out a picture of themselves and their spouse at a wedding. People who have, business professional men and women who are on the beach in Mexico partying with a beer in their hand, right? We've all seen like, wow, that's not professional at all. So I recommend people wear, if they're in a business, wear a professional business attire, men, suit and tie, or just, sports jacket maybe and no tie at all. Women, the same thing. Make sure your makeup and hair is done properly, and also make sure you're smiling. We've all seen photos of people where they look kind of grumpy or they look like serial killers on there and they're not smiling at all. So it's very, very important you have a professional headshot, where you're smiling. Now, does that mean you actually got to go out to like Walmart or Sears or a professional photographer and get a professional headshot? No, it means you need to use a great camera on your mobile phone, and a little hint, make sure you turn the phone sideways. So you're taking the picture as landscape, not portrait. Why optimize your profile? Well, if you're doing any kind of lead generation or marketing on LinkedIn, an optimized profile will rank higher in LinkedIn searches when people are looking for you, or recruiters even looking for the key phrase. As someone looking at a business coach, a really highly optimized, highly searched for, highly engaging profile will go to the top of the page when someone is looking for your service. And it gets more profile views. It shows up 3 times more in the number of search appearances. So LinkedIn will actually decide what is your profile, and if it's really well optimized and really well engaged, they'll actually show it to more people. So as you saw on my thing over here, on my profile views, huge engagement, always going up, right? So what not to do with your headline. Your headline shouldn't use a job title alone. Don't make it too general. You want to use, hyperbole words like expert, winning, dedicated, best. Someone had a question. Let's see what the question is. Oh, and David is just posting thing on something. Thank you, David, very much. Appreciate that. So use key phrases tailored to your target audience. It's called SEOing your LinkedIn profile. So how do you smatter in the key phrases that people would normally search for in Google inside your LinkedIn profile? Not too many, not too often. You don't want to do something like called keyword stuffing, where you're just putting the same key phrase or the same words over and over again. It doesn't even make sense in your profile as far as the actual flow of sentencing, but you want to put a different smattering of key phrases in your profile to make sure it shows up when people are doing a search on LinkedIn and the LinkedIn search response. Use the language of your industry and field. And also include a value proposition. What do you do that helps your potential clients? Also something like, asking people to connect with you or talk to you, right? So important, I have the COVID strategy that your company needs, right? Or, something like interested, let's have a phone call. Interested, book on my calendar booking link, right? And that's another thing also. Do you have the contact info on your profile properly filled out? How frustrating is it when you want to talk to someone on the profile and you want to try to give them a phone call or email them, there's no phone number, there's no email. I even have my calendar booking link on here, right? And also going on people's profiles and seeing that their websites don't work anymore. Click on someone's website, it doesn't work anymore. Does that build trust and authority? Absolutely not, right? So it's very, very important you have all those things done and all those things done properly. Headline examples: human resource consultant, helping smart managers keep their employees engaged and productive. Remember, why should people hire you and what can you do for them? So you got to think about that from your profile headline, right? Salesforce trainer, are you pushing your CRM to its full potential? I would have probably added, if not, if you don't think so, let's have a conversation about that. Commercial realtor, connecting business owners to properties, right? Once again, what's your call to action? Love helping prevent and reverse heart disease, cardiac rehabilitation, heart health authority, author and speaker. Digital marketing and content expert, Wall Street Journal best-selling author, keynote speaker, and writer. Their summary, which is now called your About section. This is the guts of your LinkedIn profile. You have up to 2,000 characters, not words, but characters, to describe who you help, how you help them, what sets you apart from the pack, and once again, I would always have a call to action, a CTA, inside there. Remarkably, most people have terrible summaries, 1 or 2 sentences, or nothing about what the benefits are of working with somebody. It's all feature-based. We've been in business this many years, and we do this for our clients, and this is our products and services, but no case studies, no reason to connect with them, no reason that sets them apart from the pack of the people that they could contact, right, telling you what you do great. And let's face it, you guys hear this on a regular basis. You've had people in your business career who have said, hey, I love working with you. You're amazing. I worked with someone else beforehand, but you're great because of ... When people tell you this, immediately get your phone out, do a recorded message, and just spit that back into your phone at all, or write down on paper, and then formalize it on your LinkedIn profile so other people can know why are you amazing and why are you greater or better than anybody else out there doing the same thing you do. Your summary, once again, is not a job description. Remember, benefits, not features. Your summary should not be all about you, right? It should answer the question, what can you do for me, and why should I use you, as opposed to the 10,000 other people on LinkedIn that do exactly the same thing you do. Your summary should not ignore the problems you solve for customers. So another way of outlining your summary is, these are the problems clients face in my industry, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is how we solve them for you, or or we solve them for you. Here's some examples, right? Your summary should address your target audience. What do they need? Who or what are they looking for? What is their pain point? Your summary should also talk about the problems you solve for your audience, your customers, clients, company, the value you bring, and how unique you are, right? And also the summary should include the right key phrases and keywords, the terminology for your audience and industry, and also for the search on LinkedIn. Remember, properly SEOing, search engine optimizing your summary and your profile on LinkedIn. So when people type in, software developers, or they type in something else on LinkedIn, you come up at the top of the page. You must speak to your industry expertise, provide data to back up your results, mention if your team is currently hiring, highlight professional interests, and once of all, include contact information. And much of that can be done when you actually post the content on your LinkedIn profile. I tell people it's so important what you do as far as your content marketing. So are you posting great content on LinkedIn on a regular basis? Do you have a system for that? Are you creating a content calendar for LinkedIn that you have in your calendar, like I have on my calendar, that I have, every single day or every single week at the same time as a repeat calendar input, having the same thing: create content for LinkedIn, post content on LinkedIn. It doesn't have to be really complicated. I do this for my clients as one of the services I provide from my clients on my programs as far as content creation, but I'll give you a little more about that later on in the presentation. As far as I have something called my article writing formula, I'll be happy to share it with you. Maybe even take a screenshot of the slide later on. But you need to have great content on a regular basis, right? So how many people post content on LinkedIn? Just type in the chat box yes or no if you post great content on LinkedIn on a regular basis, and I mean weekly, right? So most people don't, unfortunately, but it's very, very important you do. And then once you post content on LinkedIn, here's this post right here, and you can always see what an actual post website address is on LinkedIn, because when you go to it, you have this big, long, website address. But then you can go into here and you can click on this over here, copy link to post, and then you can go into all of your groups on LinkedIn, and you can post that information on groups. So in your group, you wouldn't copy and paste. Here's my group over here. I created what's called a LinkedIn pod for being able to get people to engage on your posts. That's the idea of it. We're almost at 1,000 members. I imagine we'll crack 1,000 members before the end of the year, and then it'll start, going up exponentially. But here's how you do it. You copy the post and the previous link I showed you over here. Where did I go to? Where is the link to my post? Here it is. So here's a link to the post. Once again, the 3 dots. Copy link to post. Go to here. Go to your group. Click on this. Paste that in there, and voila! It automatically takes the actual contact or actual information from your post and pops in the group over here. Now, why is that the way to do it? Well, if you were to just copy and paste the information from your post, so let's say I grabbed all this information and I went back over here and I clicked on here and I just pasted the information back on here, and then I loaded up my video again and put my video on the video tab here. And I did this on my, let's say, 15 different groups I belong to. All of this would be individual posts on LinkedIn. So let's say somebody went on my post and they commented, 4 people on one group liked it and 2 people commented, and then the next group I had 10 people liking it and 2 people resharing it. Well, you just add all those numbers up, and you want all that to flow back to the original post here, because the way the LinkedIn algorithm works, which is very similar to Facebook or other social media websites, is within the first 60 minutes of you posting your post, how many people engage with it. And it has to be 60 minutes. That's how LinkedIn measures it. And they measure how many people like it, how many people comment on it, how many people share it. Also, something new called dwell time. How many people are, let's say, watching your whole video here or spending your time on your post on their computer. LinkedIn is measuring everything. And if you can get some great engagement on your post in the first 60 minutes, more of your first connections will see your post, as opposed to, we all know that social media websites like LinkedIn, Facebook, and everybody else in the sun is having less and less people see your content because they want you to spend money on ads. So more tips for your summary. You want to really demonstrate your passion, show some personality, maybe make some, put some fun stuff in there, make yourself approachable. Approachability is so important on LinkedIn. That's why it's so important you have a nicely done, professional looking photo. Once again, it doesn't have to be a professionally taken photo, but a professional looking photo when you're smiling. use I as opposed to third person, intrigue your readers, and win credibility. Because if you get people to know, like, and trust you on your profile from your messaging before they even contact you, right? A lot more people are going to be messaging you. They'll be connecting with you, sending you connection requests. They'll be following you, right? So right now, let's, for instance, there's one little lady. I'll show you later her thing later on, but here's her profile on LinkedIn, and she has done. I remember when she had braces a couple of years ago. I congratulated her when they came off. Here's her little LinkedIn thing.
Bridget Hyacinth, thanks for viewing my profile. Don't forget to click follow. It can only get better from here. Have a great day.
Yeah, see, look at that. Don't forget to click follow. What a great call to action on her profile, right? But look at this over here. She's been doing tons of posting, tons of marketing, and especially tons of video creation on her profile. And now I've been following her for 5 years, and 5 years later, she has 3.386 million people following her. So when she does a post on her LinkedIn profile, she just published a book. But look at the engagement she's getting. This one over here, 341 likes, 42 comments. This one over here, all going back to the original post, and you can tell because this one over here has 3,107 likes and 254 comments, and the same ones. Oh, she must clean these up and deleted a lot of these. I think she went back and I did this with David yesterday, and she had a whole bunch of these in here. But this was one over here has 19,000 votes, right? So what does she do? Well, she's an HR expert, but also she's a keynote speaker, and people hire her from all over the world to fly to their workshops and their events to keynote speak. Right now, I talked to her, and she's getting a lot of virtual work, right? But it's so important that you really follow what these people are doing, because engagement can be huge on LinkedIn if you do it properly. Dave is going to pop this into the LinkedIn chat box, examples of great profile headlines you can look at yourself. I talked about putting rich media on your LinkedIn profile. So important. Go onto people's profiles. You see how few of them have videos, rich media, PDFs, JPEGs, other things on their profile. If people go to 2 different profiles, I tell you right now, the one that has lots of rich media on it will catch their eye and engage them way more than people that have no rich media at all. So once again, JPEGs, PNGs, PowerPoints, PDFs, and other things you can put on your profile. That's where it can go down to. This is also very, very cool. How to rank on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has this great feature, which David is going to once again post into the chat box, so you can go onto your LinkedIn and pop this into your LinkedIn profile and see where your social selling dashboard is. Thank you, David. And it'll tell you, where you rank on establishing your professional brand, finding the right people, engaging with insights, that's content marketing, building relationships. I'll tell you right now, though, this is basically a big sales system for the LinkedIn Sales Navigator membership, because if you click on any of these links, once you pop this URL into your browser on your LinkedIn, if you click on establish your brand or find the right people, all of these go back to LinkedIn Sales Navigator. But it's a good tool to use to figure out where are you, what's happening with your thing. I was looking at the timeline, so much time I have over here. So, super important that you are looking at this on a regular basis. I always look at mine and see where I am as far as am I engaging my audience properly. Are the articles and posts coming back to content marketing, right? so important. You're sharing the information because this is really what makes you an authority in your niche. And I'm doing this with all my clients. All my clients are doing video marketing. All my clients, I'm telling them to post, 2 or 3 posts a week, maybe one article or maybe one video every single week, week after week. And it's so important that you're doing this via a content calendar. And all it basically means is going into your calendar and sticking in reoccurring events on your calendar that tell you and show you that you need to go on LinkedIn and either post this content or create this content. And the next thing is, my clients, ask me, well, I don't know what to write on LinkedIn. So I brainstorm with them. For you guys, just think about this. Just write on a piece of paper. What are my clients asking me about on a regular basis? What are people talking about in my industry on a regular basis? Write it down as far as the topics goes, and then Google it. So one topic could be, how your industry, and you make sure you use the specific industry, language. So how are SaaS developers pivoting and surviving in the world of COVID-19? That's the actual phrase you would type into Google and then Google it. And then you can see what are other people writing about. And you're going to obviously plagiarize your stuff here, but that'll really give you a good idea of how should my article look and what are things I can write about. So the first thing I do is I Google the phrase and go to people's articles. Then I click on the image tab on Google to find images from my articles. And then I think of a powerful headline. So let's say for a SaaS company is, the 5 top things SaaS companies should be doing to pivot their business in 2021. That could be an article, the article topic. And then you have a subheadline, opening paragraph, add a picture. Anybody wants this, just, email me after the webinar. I'll be happy to email this to you or take a screenshot of it right now. So getting back to what I was talking about Bridget, she's done a great job. And there are a couple other people. And, what you can do also on LinkedIn is you can go to LinkedIn feed and you can look at, what are other people posting on LinkedIn and what kind of engagement are they getting. So, looking at people's articles, always look for the engagement piece, right? So here is 19 likes, 4 comments so far. Here is 52 likes and 14 comments, right? So that, it really is very simple. Just go on other people's posts and look at the ones that are getting great engagement, great comments, great sharing. And when you go on to LinkedIn and do that and look at your stuff, LinkedIn actually has, let me see here, this the thing again here? Yeah, here it is. LinkedIn actually has a little bit of metrics for you. Really not great metrics, but, a little bit. Here's people who have looked at my article and post, right? So, very, compared to like Facebook or somebody else, like really crappy metrics, right? But at least you have some idea of what's happening. And it's an overall view of where are people looking at my information, what part of the world are they in, what is their professional job titles. So, maybe I should be targeting on my LinkedIn lead generation system executive directors, because executive directors are engaging with my content, right? So, and then how many people are looking at it, how many people are looking at it and lifetime views and everything else, and are people looking at it? So 4 people are looking at it for 4 minutes on this date over here, and then just you can see what the metrics are on your article or your post to give you some idea what's going on. LinkedIn is also for people looking for a job. There's a really powerful job board on LinkedIn. Here it is over here, jobs. You can set up job alerts. So if I wanted to look for lead generation, and I want to look at lead generation, and let's say remote company type, they posted. Oh, and my city here. So let's say I want to look at lead generation in the USA. I can search, and then I can easily apply. So you can have all these different drop-down menus over here on, what to do, and do I want to apply for these jobs over here? And basically, all to do is just look at my profile and click on next, right? My resume, click on next, and they ask you some questions and blah blah blah. You can just do it easily like this over here. Looking at your experience section on LinkedIn, you should only have experiences on LinkedIn that apply to what you're doing now. So if you have your profile on LinkedIn and you have stuff in here from years ago that has absolutely nothing to do with what you're doing now, then I probably would delete it, because people want to hire the girl or the guy, the absolute expert in your field. So it's super, super important you have experiences that are actually relevant to your current profile right now or current job title right now. If you don't, you're going to confuse people, and a confused mind says no. So it's very, very important you have stuff that's actually applicable to your business. Here's some examples of different experiences and how they're written, right? So it's just a matter of, do your answer the questions in your experience section, the 4 things: who you are, what you do, what can you do for me, and why should I use your company as opposed to any of other companies over there at all. And the last thing I want to talk to you about today is the LinkedIn event platform. I want to show you how that works. It's really great. It's brand spanking new. Hardly anybody knows about it at all. It's on the home page. And here it is right here, events. All you do is click on the plus button, and you fill out all the information, a square logo, a cool banner, how you do the ticketing, the description of the event, who the extra speakers are, right? And then, and then do you require people to register on your event also. Here's this one over here. And what is amazing about this is you can click on the Manage Event button, Manage Attendees, and it'll give you all these people in this section over here, as well as you can download an Excel file of all your attendees that actually include email addresses. So if you're using email marketing software as well, you have all this information, first name, last name, email addresses, and everything else under the sun in here. It really provides you a great opportunity to keep on remarketing to them. Like David said, you can either go on this section over here and see who has registered. I can even click on these sections over here, and I can use this on my system to message these people as long as I'm connected to them on LinkedIn. Super, super important. You can really, use this section to your full advantage. Wow. Yeah. So, David and I wanted to really help you out. You can unmute yourself, David. We can, start talking to people now. So we really wanted to help you guys out, so we created this offer for you. Sorry, my thing's skipping around everywhere. I'm not sure why exactly, but it's just skipping around everywhere on our slideshow. I apologize for that. But how many workshops and webinars have people gone to on a regular basis, and great intentions to go home and get the information done, but really nothing happens afterwards because they don't have a lot of other skills as far as, let's say, creating banners or other things. So David and I wanted to create this offer for you guys. And here's the offer. David, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, you bet. I'm already unmuted.
Okay, awesome. So on this software here, David and I talked about, we're going to do exactly that for you. On my part of things, I'm going to go to and do your whole profile. I'm going to create a new cover banner for you. I'm going to do the settings on the back end, optimize your profile, do your section over here, which is your, who am I, what do I do? So as far as basically your title over here, I'm gonna work on your about section over here and redo it for you. I'm gonna help you and create the content on your LinkedIn profile, and and then work with you. And if you haven't created a company page for yourself, I'll create a company page. Many people, let's say, have a company page on LinkedIn, but they haven't properly connected to the LinkedIn profile, and then show you how to get, all these great recommendations. And, recommendations are very, very important also on LinkedIn. I'm not sure if I talked about that today, but recommendations are like Google reviews, testimonials. The more you have, the better. I see people usually who they have, 4 or 5 or 15 to 20 recommendations. Some are not that recent at all, but you can see my recommendations, are very, very recent. And you just want to basically bowl people over with, credibility and trust, so that they will A, accept your connection request, and B, they will agree to have a phone call with you, like a sales call with you. So super, super important you do that. And then also going to have a 2-hour Zoom call with you, which I'll record and give to you afterwards, on exactly what you need to do for yourself to get yourself more leads on LinkedIn, to get yourself more connections on LinkedIn. So here's all the steps. Here's what you do. Here's the order you do it in. And you'll also have my mobile phone number. So if you need to jump on Zoom with me afterwards and pass the 2-hour thing, it's free of charge. As much help as you need, possibly within reason, obviously, to get this stuff done. And then for David, go ahead.
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, with regards to looking at the marketing strategy for the business, your businesses, look, we have a software program where we do a complete analysis of all the different areas of sales and marketing within your business and look at the profit potential. So that would be part of the package that I'm going to offer you. And then in addition to that, we have an e-newsletter goes out once a week, which has tips and ideas about how you can improve your marketing approach. And we also have e-learning video lessons as well. And then once a month, I will check in with you and do a call to find out how you're making out with your strategy and so on. And so again, with Alan's package, both of us had a combined package of almost $3,500 that we're offering to you as a result of attending this webinar for $997 US. And we have a couple of payment plans as well. So that's what we're offering people who have attended our program. And you can.
Yeah, so we click on the Buy Now button. It'll just go to this form over here to fill out. And all you do is you log into or sign up for DocuHub. It's like DocuSign. Create a free account, and then you can fill all this information out here. And the biggest thing I want people to know is that we're here for you. We're going to hold you by the hand, and you're going to have a resource to ask us any questions you want when you need us to help you along the way, as opposed to taking one of those courses you have, one of those, plastic boxes that has videos and DVDs, and then going, well, this is great on what he said in the video, but I have no idea how to do that at all. So we're here to help you out and actually go on Zoom with you when you need us to, and actually show you how to do it. So we're going to open up the platform now.
Yeah, I just put a note in the chat box. That's a link to the offer.
Great. So everybody can now unmute themselves if they want to, or just type in the chat box if you have any questions at all. So, if you could please ask to unmute yourself here. And what questions you guys have for us? We went over a lot of content today. Are there any things you want to know about LinkedIn or about David's program that you want us to answer for you right now? Don't be shy.
Will you be sending out the copy of the presentation that you just
Sure, yeah,
us?
definitely. We can do that for you. No problems at all.
Okay.
Please put, Lloyd, I have your email address, but if the other if King and Bhavin can pop your email address into the chat box or send it to myself on the email I put in the
Yeah, can you put our email addresses in the chat box there, David?
done already.
Yours and mine? Okay, perfect, great.
So just, yeah, send me a note and we'll send that out to you. We'll have a recording. We have to edit, do a little bit of editing, cleaning up, and then we'll pop it out to you. We
Yeah.
also have a couple of free gifts that we want to send your way. LinkedIn Makeover tip sheet and also an ebook that I've published that has some of the examples of various things related to what I talked about today.
So once again, does anybody have any actual questions about what we talked about as far as content we need answering or clarifying for yourselves?
I'm good.
I think we stunned them,
Nope.
Alan.
I think so also, yeah. That's awesome, man. We did a great job, man. That's awesome. Cool.
Well, you've got our information as well, so please
Yeah.
feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah, and in the actual chat box on Skype also, there's a little thing that says file on the bottom right hand side with 3 dots. You can actually save that chat to your desktop or your hard drive, so you can open those links up afterwards and save them. So King asked, how can you host online events to pivot leads into customers on LinkedIn? So we're just using my Zoom account. I pay $20 a month for it. And you know, if you want information on how to integrate a Zoom webinar into LinkedIn event platform, just like I said, contact us afterwards. I'd be happy to show you how. Does that answer your question, King? Perfect. Thank you so much. Anybody else have any questions at all? Okay. Well, thank you very much for being here. You know, once again, if you want to get this offer here from us, it's a great discount. You know, I normally charge $7,000 over 6 months for my lead generation program. David charges a huge amount of money also for his regular program. This deal here, where it says buy now, this is a really great deal. It really is. We're discounting our services dramatically to help people out here, especially, you know, for us, you know, this time of COVID, it's, you know, something we really feel passionate about. I think people should, you know, get the chance to have people help them out. So anything else want to add, David?
Oh, I just look forward to chatting with everybody afterwards and talking a little bit more about how we can help you. And like Alan had said, there's a lot of value that we're offering through our offer, and our intent is to help you stick around for post-COVID time and thrive in business so that we can continue to help you grow your business. And,
yeah. I wrote in this article on LinkedIn. You can see, you know, how talking about, I think if people really push their marketing hard right now, they're going to come into 2021. You know, it's going to be a really great year in January, but it all starts now. So I'm telling all my clients, all the people who I talk to on a regular basis, you need to push things hard now so you have a phenomenal January. That's what this whole post is about. And, you know, when I posted this 6 days ago, we only had 48 days until 2021. So think about that. What you do now is going to be really important for January. There you go. Well, thank you very much, people.
We'll send you a follow-up email. Now, King, we don't have your email address, but if you can pop that into the chat box or send it to me at my
Or
email
me, yeah, either or.
Alan, and we'll send you out. Like I say, we have a free gift that we're sending everybody that attended the webinar. So I'd be happy to send that to you.
There it is. You put it in there.
Yep, got it now. Perfect.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, people. I'll download this myself and save the chat, and then, yeah, you guys have a great day. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.